Must Love Yarn podcast. It's Monday. I think
daylight-ish.
It's the 20th of February.
It is. Happy President's Day.
Happy President's Day. I'm a little discombobulated because my kids are on break this week, so...
And I'm getting ready to go on vacation, so I am like...
She's also discombobulated for different reasons.
How much can you do in 16 hours of work?
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So this is a podcast that we bring to you from our yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont, where we show all kinds of yarn and sometimes fiber and other knitting and crocheting related things that you can purchase in store or online.
Spinning. We have spinning today.
Spinning today. There's some talk of spinning in the outtakes. Maybe I have a new hobby. Just what I need, another new hobby.
I wonder.
So feel free to follow the store on social media as Must Love Yarn. There's been some really cool like reels and stuff that folks are posting. Some of our employees
people who know how
very
are posting.
Very social media savvy, and so there's some fun stuff going on over there on that page. So come check us out. That's where all the yarny fun stuff is. And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram as Jennifer_Arbuckle and on Ravelry as J Arbuckle.
Yes. And that's my personal page. So you're going to see tons of stuff like all of the food that we were eating in New York City a couple weeks ago because that was really fun.
Yes, really and you might see a lot of architecture on my buildings
and cats,
what have you. Yes,
silly cats and kids and other things. But there's quite a bit of yarn and knitting stuff on that as well.
Yes,
so
it's true.
It's fun. Or pictures about like crazy weather, and that I had to drive a bunch on Friday. So
yeah.
You know,
it's February, so who knows what the weather's going to be like on any given day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we like to start our podcast with our podcast pick. And so 3 weeks ago when we did the podcast last, we did like, look, all of these random red, pink, and different yarns in like every weight. And so I guess we're just going to carry that theme forward from now on.
Did we do that? Isn't that funny?
We did, yeah, because it was go red for...
So that must have been super fun for you to...
Yeah, that was awesome. So let's do awesome sauce again. So we have been starting to curate in the store a collection of yarns. Oh, I forgot one. Oh.
Which one?
Oh, the Northern Wool Levity. It's all right. We can just talk about it. Maybe put a picture in. I'll go take a picture and like we'll pop the picture in. I knew I was forgetting one.
That one's a little bit different because it is recycled, but in a different kind of way.
It is, but it's still part of the collection. So we've been trying to curate yarns or a collection of yarns that are being more mindful about where their products are coming from. And so there's a number of different companies that are starting to use like recycled materials.
Some of them are recycled fiber and others are like recycled plastic. And, you know, if you're going to have nylon in your yarn, where does it come from? You know, how do you create that? Right.
And so we have, you know, this whole line of yarn from Kadia. We have some new in the store that's called Aqua. And
this awesome picture of a turtle on the
front of it. Trying to eat a plastic bag. And so what this yarn is doing is taking ocean plastic. So it's upcycled marine plastic, and that's what they're using for their polyester.
50-50, right?
So it's 50% cotton and 50% polyester, but that polyester has all come from ocean plastic. So it's really
their other one
really
that we
cool.
had, the other Kadia one is also right.
Yeah. So we have this in 5 colors.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the things.
Great summer colors.
Yeah, that's included in our podcast pick this week. We have we have shown
and that
this
one is
before.
called Aqua. Sorry, I don't know if we said the name.
Yep.
Aqua.
We also have Kadia Genesis, which we have shown before, but this is a similar yarn where it's 50-50 and it's using again the recycled marine plastics for the polyester component. Yep.
We have 5 different colors, I think, probably, right?
No, we only have 3 right now.
Okay.
So
it goes. We don't keep it for very long. Typically, it's very popular.
yeah.
So,
and then we have a third yarn from Katia that's included in all of this. So their cotton merino tweed, their concept cotton merino tweed, is made with recycled blend. I think it's their recycled cotton. So their cotton is recycled in this tweedy yarn, and we've got like 6 different colors of that one. I know this is a lot for folks to remember. We've created these as a collection on the website, and so we'll link to the collection so you can see all the different products, because we have one other company that's doing a bunch of recycled yarns, and that's Barocco. So their remix, which we have both in the light and the chunky, and we have a ton of colors. So this is all remix light. These are part of the chunky colors, and we've got more chunky colors there on the table. But it's the standard sort of Barocco type colorways.
Right. So for those of you that haven't, you can sort of see there's kind of a tweedy effect. This is a mixture of nylon, cotton, acrylic, silk, and linen. So it's been really popular for those that can't wear wool, and so. And the colors are great, and it feels like cotton when you're knitting with it. It's a little bit, has that cotton sort of feel to it, but it knits up really nicely and beautifully. We don't actually have any like full-size samples, but this is, you can sort of see at 3 different gauges because we have 3 different size needles, but it just has a really nice effect, and it's tweedy without being like overly tweedy. And it's really soft when it's knit up. Between the linen and the cotton, it really softens things up nicely.
Yeah, and then sort of our other Barocco yarn, which we've shown before, is this Barocco Renew. And so this is using both recycled and sustainable fibers, but this is a viscose wool nylon cashmere blend. And so, nice.
Speaking of luxury fibers.
Luxury fibers, but they're recycled and or sustainably harvested. So we're starting to see a little bit of shift from some of these companies to make sure that, they're thinking about how things are produced and where it's coming from and sort of what the impact is. I'd also like to point out that this Katia yarn, this box that Jen held up, that's how the yarn shipped. It's not shipped in plastic.
Right, they're shipping stuff in sustainable.
In boxes.
A lot of stuff that we get these days.
Yeah.
We still get some stuff in plastic bags. At the end of the day, we're shipping yarn over long places, and it can't get wet. And so plastic isn't it. But a lot of them are the compostable plastic that sort of dissolves.
And the ones that aren't, we actually have facilities here that we can take, and our bags get donated, and at least here locally, there's a project running where the bags get turned into what the equivalent of like Trex decking would be. And they're making like park benches and like donating them out to like parks and other places. So they're getting reused. So we have sort of this stream that we're capturing. So the plastic bags aren't going into the ocean. They aren't going into landfills.
Yeah.
So even the ones that come in plastic bags, we have found places for them to go, to be repurposed and used for something else.
And just to add to that a little bit, you may have noticed if you've ordered from us in the last few months, probably for the last 6 or 8 months, I think, we transitioned to compostable packaging ourselves.
Yep.
Again, we looked at some of the cardboard options. We may get there eventually and just use paper-based, but I feel like we weren't quite ready to do that. I mean, ours are not like bundles of yarn inside a plastic bag inside of a cardboard container. Our yarn is directly in whatever the outside packaging is, and so we chose to do the compostable recyclable bags. So the bags have the double sticky, so you can
use them again,
cut the bag open and then reuse it with another sticky strip. So, and we hope people are reusing it,
or at least putting them in for composting.
Yeah. So at the very least, we just decided that we had to find a way to get away from, and we've always used paper bags here for all of our in-store purchases.
Yep. So the other yarn that's included in this collection, that's about recycled or reusing, is our Northern Wool Levity, and it's a little bit of a different product. We've talked about it before. Basically what they're doing is using leftovers from industrial garment making, sock making. And so there's always these spools of like leftover wool that can't be used for another run of socks and the giant mills that are making them, but it's a huge amount that's going to waste. And so one of our local makers here, Katie Sullivan from Bobolink Yarns, is collecting it from one of our local companies and respinning it into like a light fingering lace weight yarn.
You may remember my sweater that I made last summer that looks very much like Angie's colors, the striped sweater that I made last summer, and that was made in that yarn.
Yep. And so, you know, for me, it's another example of like eliminating waste. And so it's not sort of, there we go, a true recycle, but it is kind of, because otherwise that wool would be going into a landfill or going into a compost and being wasted.
Yeah.
And this is just finding a way to utilize all of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I mean, we've had several conversations with various customers before about whether wool is you know, sustainable fiber or not. There's definitely some vegans out there who feel differently than us, which is completely fine. And obviously, you know, first of all, we want to have yarn for everyone. And so part of this is to make sure that is possible. But at the end of the day, we feel like sheep are sort of the penultimate recycling machine. You know, the grass turns into sheep, which grows wool, which, you know, and then wool can be composted back into the earth again.
Creates lanolin and like all kinds of other things that can be used.
Yeah.
So.
Just trying to continue to do our part to make
So-
sure people have access to all this stuff.
So getting back to the podcast pick, this is long, rambly like explanation.
But very
so
important,
all of these yarns that we just talked about, we're including in our podcast pick. So for the next 2 weeks, you can get 10% off in our online store and in store with the code. I'm going to go PP Go Green. Just make it easy. Any of these yarns that we talked about in the segment. So that's the 3 Katia yarns, the 3 Barocco yarns, and the Northern Wool Levity. I'm going to throw that one in there because for me, that's just as inclusive of what we're talking about here.
And really, all of these yarns do all this great green stuff, but at the end of the day, they're all beautiful yarns.
They are beautiful
and they
yarns.
make beautiful garments.
Absolutely.
And we have them here in some really great colors, and so definitely, you know, check them out. We've seen a lot of really great summer tops and Remix Light. We have people who come back for it again and again and again because it just knits up so beautifully. It's really...
And I think the Aqua is going to be similar. It's also a very gorgeous, gorgeous yarn.
And the concept, we've talked about that before. That's really beautiful.
And the Renew,
they're all
amazing.
beautiful for different things.
Yes.
Yes.
So Jen, what are you wearing today?
Right. Oh,
We
gosh.
are totally...
No, we're right on track.
Are we on track?
Well, I mean, the first one was a little lengthy, that's all.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing my my poncho that I made out of the Once Again sweater pattern by Deborah Gerhard. So her pattern was a sweater with this interesting yoke that is like kind of bubbly and stained glassy, and you can't really see it from there, but all the little inner pieces are little tiny cables around the color work. And once I finished the yoke, I just turned it into a poncho instead. So it's just a big, wide, super cozy dye gilpin Leland, super soft and cozy.
Nice.
Lamb's wool. And then this is Malabrigo Arroyo. So
Awesome.
it's DK weight. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm wearing my Rick Rack, which I don't actually think that I've worn. And I have it on backwards because that's about where things are today.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep, that's backwards. So good job, me. So this is Rick Rack is a Casapinka pattern. It may have been for local yarn store day last year.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
The blue is the Frabjous Fibers Wonderland Yarns local yarn store day color, and the pink is a Malabrigo, one of their super pink pinks. I think it was Malabrigo sock with
No, maybe. Yeah.
and it just, they go together. This blue has like little flecks of that pink in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like pretty much all of Casa Pinka's patterns, fun to knit, like lots of variation, like lots of cool stitch patterns, like interest because you're changing colors back and forth.
Yeah.
So always enjoyable. They fit well. Like they're, you know.
She has some great new patterns out. Yeah.
Yep. And our mannequin is on paid vacation today. It's a holiday.
It's a holiday.
Not working.
She refused to put on a sweater.
She wanted to be here naked, and so we were like, "Sorry, you can't be on the podcast
It's a
naked.
family show.
Take a hike, lady." So we'll try to get her back.
We debated whether we should just hang this on her, but that didn't seem like enough coverage. So
not gonna work. As Jen said, it's a family show. So she's in the corner thinking about what she did.
Right. That's right. Oh boy. Yes.
So do you have any finished objects you want to talk about?
Sort of.
Okay. Or do
you have?
I do. I have two.
Okay, you do yours first because mine is Seasons of Vermont also, and so that's really all I've been focused on.
So I have two hats.
You finished your hat.
I did finish my hat.
Mm-hmm.
This is called Malorn hat.
So pretty.
And it's a pattern from Wonderland Yarns. It doesn't appear to be available on Ravelry because when I tried to look for it to link it on my project page, it wasn't coming up. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I know I got it from Wonderland Yarns because it was specific for some of their yarn, and this is Wonderland yarn. So it's this really cool, just kind of leaf motif. I think it's like Lord of the Rings themed, really. So
yeah,
cute little hat.
She started it on
this
Thursday,
was my
right?
Vogue Knitting Live project.
That's right.
And I've got it almost done, was almost finished with it on the plane ride home. I would have finished it on the plane ride home.
Oh, there was too many people. I could not get on the way home.
Except the needles that I needed to do the top crown were stuffed in my bag, and there was no way I was going to be able to get into my really full backpack to get it out.
The plane was really crowded on the way home, and it was one of those old...
And we weren't sitting next to each other. If we were sitting next to each other, I'd have been like...
elbowed me for sure.
I know, I'd have been like, Jen, watch out. I'm going to like yoga my way down here to get into my backpack. So I think I finished it that night or maybe the next night, because I think by the time I got home, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, there was not much.
My brain is not working.
Yeah.
So this was a quick little, it's fingering weight held double. So it's knit really at like a worsted gauge. So fun little hat. So I did that one. And then because I was avoiding picking my sweater back up because I had sleeves that I was knitting.
Yeah.
I cast on another hat.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So this is Fold the Cheese. And if, yes, it is a,
Hunter Hammers.
Nope. It's a Bleep Creek reference.
Oh.
Fold the cheese. How do you fold the cheese? Fold the cheese. And it looks like it shouldn't fit, but
I was going to say it looked really tiny,
right?
but then it fit nicely.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you remember, this is leftover yarn from that cowl.
I was going to say
that I knit.
Familiar. Yeah.
And I think I'm going to put them together as a set, and probably they'll get donated to like kids auction something that's coming up.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Because it's all superwash. Yeah. Well, it's like edition 3 and Barocco DK. So I had enough from one skein of each to knit the cowl and this hat.
Yep.
This can be done. So super cute. Really fun. It's a slip stitch pattern. So hat number 2 done.
Awesome.
And then I had to pick the sweater back up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you got?
I have been very focused on the pattern for Seasons of Vermont. And so I knit the whole hat. So it's kind of a little bucket hat. So I'm sharing all of this preparatory to... so I knit the whole thing. I went all the way up and bound it off. And then I was like, you know what? I don't really like the top. It fit. It was the right height, but it was very bunchy at the top because I was trying to preserve the pattern. So I've gone back and sort of changed where I'm going to start the decreases so they start sooner. But it's super cute.
It's cute.
sorry, it's not going to be very cute on me because I'm holding it on his needles. But so not completely intentionally, but the little flare on the brim was sort of a happy accident. But I'm going to keep it because I think it's kind of cute. And people yesterday in the store were like, "Oh, that's so cute." I was working on it yesterday. So, and then to go with it will be a set of mitts as well. So the pattern will have both the mitts and the hat
Cool.
in them. So I don't have a name yet. I'm sort of going to have to think about that over the next week or so. But anyway, Junction Fiber Mill is providing the yarn for the box. And you can see the colors shift from green to pink to purple.
And so if we haven't mentioned before our themes for this year, right, because we always pick themes for each box, is our first box is light because it's coming in March. Our second box is bright because it's coming in June. Our third box is cozy because it's coming sort of in the fall,
September.
And then our final box is merry because it comes
that
at
one,
the holiday.
Yes, that one has
times.
Actually, we've planned out it's going to be a good year. We have a lot of fun stuff to come.
And I got roped into planning some of the goodies for the box, so working on those.
She's in charge of drinks.
I didn't want to say too much about them in case I can't actually pull off what I think I can pull off.
That's all we're going to say. She's in charge of drinks.
I'm in charge of drinks.
Yes.
So there definitely will be recipes. It's just a question of what else.
Right.
Mocktails and cocktails. I'm
right.
preparing both. I have kids. They always want fancy drinks. So they are my test subjects for many of these.
Yes. And we have lots of other good stuff planned for each box as well. So I've been very focused on that because I was trying to get the knitting done before I left, which may or may not happen, but I'm at a good point on it. So, and then I've been planning what I'm going to bring with me, which is
that's
tricky.
Vacation knitting.
It's tricky, yeah.
So cyan. I picked it back up. Here we are. We've got the body is done. This hasn't been blocked, so it's all like Flippy McGee here.
Oh, it feels nice. So.
Does that feel nice?
Yeah.
Super nice.
That's
and I've got my China sleeve.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boop. Yeah.
Yep.
Looks nice.
I am currently trying to decide if I want, the pattern calls for more color work kind of down at the cuff. I may not and just opt to do this. So it's solid with this instead of the extra color work.
I don't know why, but I agree. That's what I would do.
Yeah. For me,
it's a lot of color work.
Yeah.
And it would be pretty. It would be very pretty.
Work.
Yeah.
I just like the symmetry of it matching the bottom of the sweater.
Yeah,
more.
I agree.
That's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I could go either way, actually.
I should probably try this on and see where I am on my sleeve. Because my sleeves sometimes are too long because I have shorter arms than I think.
Oh. You're usually longer than the body, though, a little bit, right?
Yeah, sometimes. So I have a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then I have to knit the other one.
I always recommend trying it on, though. So good idea.
Yeah. And try it on. And then I'll get that one done, and then I am promptly going to cast on another sweater, and I kind of already know which one I'm going to do. So I'll talk about that a little later because it relates to a long that one of our favorite people is starting. So I thought I would share with that. Maybe I should just talk about it now.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have more?
Well,
I just have. Talk about your vacation knitting?
I could.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you guys may remember that this summer, I think I'm going to bring this. So this summer I bought one of these kits from Legacy Fiber Arts, and it's all twined together, and so it was all this purple everywhere. And I love this mohair. Oops, there goes the tag. But when I took it apart, and I love this color, this set of colors as well. And when I took it apart, I was like, wow, that's very vibrant. And it was a little bit more orange than I was expecting. For some reason, I thought it had more blue and purple in it, which is completely fine. So last night I was thinking, if I'm going to wind up yarn to bring with me, which I am before I leave the building, do I want to change this up? Because I think it'll be tassels in the sky. I think it's like a very simple triangle. shawl pattern with mohair and the slub sort of knit together, and then the slubs sort of poke out through it. And so this is very matchy-matchy, and I was kind of thinking that I would like it to be more neutral, so that these are the pops of color. So there is a blue that's sort of in here somewhere. It's probably not anywhere close, but so I have this skein of hedgehog that I've had lying around for a long time, and I'm sort of on the fence. Like, I was thinking I might do that because that will really blue it up a little bit. But then I also was looking at all the aerials that we have and trying to decide which color I might.
That's tough. I think it just depends on what way you want it to go.
I was very much thinking it could just be really a neutral color because that would. But then, I've been eyeballing this purple for a long time and this really pale blue.
Both of which would look pretty awesome with that, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's this really sort of neutrally gray kind of color, which I don't think I want.
I like that one the least.
Yeah, me too. Now that I have it next to it. I have some of this at home left over from another project, so that would be the economical choice. But I'm sort of on the fence because now that I look at it on the screen, it helps to look on the screen. I think that's a bit much for me. So I think I'm going to go, I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah.
But I might do the blue. I don't know. So I will
Choices.
Decide before I leave the building.
She's got to decide.
Because I will take it with me. So that, and then I might have to bring, I might bring the leftover yarn and do the other mitt for the pair, because I'm going to change the pattern just a hair, make it a tiny bit wider.
Wait, what?
On my own pattern. I'm allowed to change my own pattern before it's published. Right, I know, right. Like, no one's ever heard me say that before.
You're changing the pattern?
Right,
what?
Exactly. I think I'm going to make it just a tiny bit bigger around. I like the way this fits, but it's a little snug, so. But they're cute. I'm very excited about them.
They're cute.
Yeah, these little flowers.
I like them a lot.
Yes. That's kind of all I have in my brain. I feel like that's not enough knitting to bring with me, but for 10 days, I mean, honestly, and there's a limit to how much knitting one actually accomplishes. So I have a thing about, well, maybe I'll just tuck a skein of something.
Socks. That's why socks are handy, because it's just like one
how
skein.
I feel about
just
socks.
I would wind up that 7th floor yarn that you brought, or take it with you.
I don't want to bring all that with me. I don't have enough room for all that. I have other, it's too much. I don't want to bring that with me because I haven't quite decided what I want to do with it yet. So I think it's like small things, small projects to work on.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
And really, at the end of the day, it's 10 days.
There might be yarn stores there, just saying, in Hawaii.
Yes. Whether I can convince my travelers to stop with me. They would stop, right? Yeah. I'll have to look and see. But anyway, so it will all be figured out. But there's always less knitting than you think there's going to be on vacation. That's the answer. So, I go to Maine and I bring, for the same time period, and I bring like 12 things with me, and I maybe get half of one thing done. So, because you're out doing
other stuff.
Yeah.
Doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, I did have a thought of like, you could dive under the coffee table and take out one of those project bags and see what's in them and bring one of those with you.
A mystery. Just grab it before you go.
What's the smallest bag?
Just grab it, and then it's a surprise.
That's right. Unfortunately, I have a lot of like shawls with 12 colors and.
Is that like yarn roulette?
Right.
It's a mystery bag.
Right. Yeah. I thought, or I could decide I'm going to make a sweater and I could just bring the sleeve with me, but.
Also, well, I mean, that's why, you could take one main color of the 7th floor and the other color if you were doing like a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then you just get as far as you can get. And
yeah, true.
So it's an option. Something to think about. But you'd have to go pattern hunting and figure out what you're going to make.
That's not on the list right now. Yeah, it's got to be something more straightforward because that's all my brain can handle and the time I have left.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
So, casting on, I have a sleeve and a little bit on a sweater. I generally don't like to have more than one sweater on the needles at a time because it just gets ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But our good friend Michelle at Woolens and Nosh is doing a new along.
Oh.
Brand new for her. It was just in her email that came out, and I'm really excited. And so I wanted to share it with all of you as well. So she's hosting a KAL that's to knit a sweater with using Woolens and Nosh tonal yarns. So I don't know if you've seen her new tonal yarn series, but they are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's taking all of her striped colors, she's just pulling them out and making single solid color skeins with them.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous,
Beautiful.
right? So you could do all kinds of sweaters. You could do that Desperate Housewife sweater that we were gonna make. And
we bought kits for.
We bought kits for from CC's Wool, but you could buy yarn from Michelle to do that sweater. That's gorgeous.
Andrea Mowry stripes.
Andrea Mowry stripes. I'm gonna knit Ginny, which is another Andrea Mowry pattern, because Michelle put her tonals on this tweed yarn. And so this is a tweed DK, and this is something I picked up from her down.
You're using your stash, Anne.
She was in my stash, but it was a knit along. It was like, how could I not?
Right.
So sweater. So it started on the 10th. So it's already started.
You better catch up.
It runs to June 20th.
Oh, lots
so
of time.
She gave everybody plenty of time. There's a hair on my thing that's catching my eye. Anyway. It runs to June 20th. So it's a really long period of time. Plenty of time to knit a sweater. It's got to be a sweater. She has some rules about like what does a sweater mean. You can post progress photos. She's got threads set up on Ravelry. But she's got some really...
Sorry, I'm stuck on what does a sweater mean. Like, it means it has two arms.
Loosely defined as an adult-sized something that covers the majority of your torso and or arms. Ponchos are okay.
I can say, but not necessarily your arms.
Short-sleeved, full body length, and cropped with full sleeves are okay. Bralettes and cropped tank tops are out.
Okay.
Those are part of the rules. But she's got some...
Because they should be out
They
anyway.
should be out for sweaters. She's got some pretty cool prizes, like really like big gift cards to her store kind of thing for finished objects, and a couple just like participation prizes.
Yeah, that's fun.
So I thought we'd give her a shout out. Her yarn is beautiful.
Yeah.
What a fun knit along.
Yeah, we can maybe link to it in our...
I was going to link to both the Ravelry threads for it, and then it sounds like she set up a special page with a collection of all of her tonal yarns.
We can mirror it so that they could get prizes from both.
Yep, we can run an along over on our side too, so you can double entry for that, because that would be fun. Why not? I probably...
The only thing I will say...
Yeah,
I was just going to say the only thing... Is it only tonals?
Tonals, yep.
So we don't have her tonals here. You would have to get them from her.
You'd have to get them from her.
That would be the only thing.
And that's fine.
Which is completely fine. But just in case you're wondering, the only yarn we have here in our shop from her are the stripes.
So you guys know me. I have sweaters quantity of this. And what am I going to do? I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go buy yarn to make it something else from her. Because that's what I do.
Wait, I thought you were using this.
Can I knit 2 sweaters?
Oh. Can you?
I don't know. I should text her and be like, can I enter twice? If I knit 2 sweaters, can I... That would be fun. Could I knit 2 sweaters before June 10th?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about all the sweaters we talked about last weekend. That was a lifetime ago. A whole week ago.
I bet she's got some tonal yarn I could use for a couple of those.
I thought we were using up.
I was, but...
I'm just saying.
Okay, so...
But anyway, definitely go visit her website.
Yes.
She has beautiful yarn.
Beautiful.
And her tonals are really gorgeous colors.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So what a fun idea. Michelle, thank you so much. We're in for, running a concurrent along with yours, like extra prizes over here. I'm going to let you talk about this new yarn that we also got in, new colorways, because I need to pull up stuff because we have our own prizes to give away for a couple of knit-alongs that have been lingering So,
because we're so good at being timely.
Oh my God.
Timeliness is not one of our strengths
Yes.
here. It's odd, really, because really we are very timely in many other ways. But
Oh
that
yeah,
is not
for
one of,
no. I just closed the threads this afternoon, so some of you got some sneaky posts in there. Totally allowed, because if it's not locked,
That's how that works.
that's how it goes.
Yeah. So we, you may remember last summer we brought in this Queensland coastal cotton yarn, which is like a worsted weight cotton. It is 100% cotton. It's very soft. It knits up beautifully. And we had quite a few colors of it. It did really well. And so it's a really also not a terribly expensive yarn. I don't have the prices right in front of me, of course, but I feel like it's
not a huge amount.
$7 a skein, maybe
Under
something
10
like
or under, probably.
Yeah. And so this year they have added to their repertoire, and now they have speckles and variegated colors, which are just amazing. So we brought in a whole bunch of them, and in addition to that, we upped our inventory in the solids. I just went and counted before the show because I wanted to know.
And they've been all organized in like rainbow colors.
We have 20 different colors in solids. And then you can see the speckles if I can lift this heavy box closer to you at a weird angle. Really just awesome. So I would highly recommend that you run out there, or run over to our website and take a look. And this is all the multicolored ones that you pulled one from each. Yeah, because we have quite a few. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 10 different speckles as well. It is selling so quickly. Like people over the weekend.
We're just like, And the thing that's really cool is a lot of our solids, they're very well coordinated with the speckles. So it's all the same color palette. It's really awesome.
Yeah. And really, so here's the purple. It can be held with the matchy purple. It could go with this pink because there's a ton of purple in it. It could go with this one that has orange in it. I mean, honestly, like, 3/4 of each one will go with any one of the colors. And we really do have the whole rainbow in the solids. It's amazing.
All right, so I'm ready, and I have pulled the prize for the first along, which is the Sparkle Along, which was supposed to be closed at the end of December.
The Sparkle Along. Gosh, I forgot about that one. Right.
Sparkle
the
Along.
hat. I designed a hat for it.
Right. And actually the person that won knit a Take a Ribbing hat.
Oh, awesome.
So I went into our deep prize stash, and we've got this really cool stitch marker necklace from Caitlin Birch. And so it's very sort of sparkly. And so I thought that's a great prize for the Sparkle Along.
Absolutely.
And also because we've been so delinquent with prizes.
We're going to give a nice prize.
A nice prize. So the post that won, and just for accountability, I'm going to show Jen that this is the one that came up on the random.org, number 16.
Number 16.
Number 16. So post number 16 is local friend Lori.
Oh,
Lori
yay.
Petripoli. So
and
she did
glassmaker designer. So
she also does glass
she will
stuff. So
perhaps
that's
appreciate this.
Really awesome. So Lori, we will leave this here for you because you come in. If you want us to ship it, let us know.
Yeah.
Because we probably have your address somewhere. But otherwise, we'll leave it with a little note in this cute little box for you to pick up. So congratulations.
Awesome.
And awesome that it was the Take a Ribbon hat. Jen's hat, which so many people knit and entered into the knit along.
Oh, that's
fun.
It
was really cool.
I guess I got to pay more attention to things. I'm a terrible person.
they things get in there. Okay, so the other one is the whip along.
Our January whip along that I suggested and did not.
January whip along. We have a lot of entries. Let me just make sure I'm at the last one. Okay, so 23 entries. Go back to my little random.org. I've got these prizes for the whip along.
This adorable little
needle threader.
Katrinkles needle threader.
Sometimes
it's a ladybug.
To finish your object, you just need to weave in the ends. And this will make it way easier to thread your needle.
And then these super cute little stitch markers.
So these are
confetti hearts.
Vogue Knitting Live ones that I brought back from.
Yeah, and the little bus.
Yeah.
That's on its way to Vogue Knitting Live. So that's a super fun little prize.
Yeah. All right, so we're
21.
Number 21. And post 21 in the FO along. I'm going to laugh if it's Lori again.
Wow, look at that.
No.
Wow.
Post number 21 is Lyrical Soul.
Oh, Donna.
And she finished her Ripple Lake cardigan.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
It was, I guess, a fall knit along. And she just needed the little nudge to finish it. So
beautiful.
Congratulations. Yeah, no, it's gorgeous.
Look at this beautiful thing she made. Oh, it's gorgeous. That's a lot of knitting.
Yeah. So I love, there was lots of comments. I love when people put the comments or the backstory about how old their whip is. Or
yeah. Yes.
Like, thank you for the push. This was supposed to be a Christmas present and I finally got it done, or this has been languishing for a couple of years. So, sometimes we just need a little motivation to get things done. So Donna is also local to us. So Donna, we'll have your prize here as well. Just mention it when you come in next. I think she comes in for knit group sometimes.
Depends.
It depends.
She comes in a lot on Sundays.
So we'll have those here for you. So congratulations, everybody. I think the only one that we still need to pull for is the Warmth with Yarn KAL, which we have an in-store spreadsheet that I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah.
It's because they do it here. So I need to collect that. We usually do the prizes for that as patterns. So it's a pattern of somebody's choice that we can gift to them.
Yeah.
Because we have people from all over participating, and that just, and it allows us to pull more prizes because so many people participate in that one.
Yeah.
So we may just reach out to people as we do it.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it, because a lot of our folks are local. And may not actually watch the podcast. So, so that's that. We still have the clock along is still going.
I did not assemble my clock. I have all the pieces and parts.
March 10th.
And I thought to myself last night, I should put this clock together so I have a finished object for the show.
Right?
And did I? I did not.
So I got a new clock mechanism, and the hand is still, I must not put it together right, because his hand's still doing like the floppy thing.
I'm pretty sure the hand is supposed to go around.
Right? Well, it gets to a certain point and it's like, boop, 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 and then
interesting.
No idea what's happening. I have it up in my office.
You don't know what time it is at any
moment.
It's
not correct on the time.
You know roughly what hour it is.
Right? Maybe. It's the hour hand. It's not the minute hand.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
the hour hand.
Even worse.
I don't know. It's
worse.
Very bizarre. So we'll set up the Woolens and Nosh one, and
we added one for our in-person and online knit groups only. Sorry,
I saw that.
One of the groups here is doing a sock knit along.
Awesome. It's for a specific designer, right?
Stone Designs, I think it's called.
Stone Knits.
Yeah. Knits. Yep. Yeah. So the in-person knit group is learning how to knit socks. But if you're on the online group, whatever. Check it out. So I posted about that
I saw
this week.
Yep. Awesome. And
and there are prizes. I believe one of the prizes is a sock blank hand dyed by one of our local folks. Could be wrong, but
cool. That's fun.
Yeah. They started yesterday. They were very excited.
That is fun. If people have suggestions for other alongs that you'd like to do, like, you can see how we pick them. It's like something that we want to knit and maybe start and don't finish.
Yeah.
So if there's things that you were like, I just need the motivation to do it with a group, or a half let us know. We're open for suggestions. I have maybe a couple of other ideas, but
we tend to do things seasonally, so now we're all like, oh, it's time for t-shirts.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna knit, I think, a t-shirt or a short sleeve shirt or a tank out of that seismic yarns, because if I was going someplace where there were black lights, I probably don't want a full sweater.
No.
So maybe it's time for another t-shirt along or something.
Yeah.
But let us know. What do you want to do? We've got a whole bunch of fun yarn that would make awesome t-shirts.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we look for like March. Like March 1st we'll start. I'll have to come up with a clever name for it.
Well,
I feel like t-shirt along is like
tank along, right?
We've done that.
Been there, done that.
The green along. I don't know.
I was
maybe
just going to say
like
it could be that you have to use one of the, not this one because this is
cotton,
but maybe you have to use one of these yarns.
Or some other sustainably produced yarn. But then we have to get into the like, is it not? You know what? Throw some ideas down. Let us know. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to do as a
What's
long?
next up on your needles?
Are you itching to knit? Or crochet or craft or whatever. Spin. Maybe we should do a spin along. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah. Why not?
We have our spring classes are up on the website. We keep adding more classes because everybody wants to take classes. It's amazing. I love it. So cool.
And we have our kids camp. So this summer we're doing kids camps for 8 to 12-year-olds, and those are also up on the website. And Ariana's been letting some local folks know, so you may see them publicized here and there around town. So we have, I think, 4 different weeks during the summer, and they run like 1 to 4 in the afternoon, I want to say, for a whole week.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so the kids get to knit, crochet, do some felting, do some fun fiber-related crafty crafts.
Yeah.
So
fun.
If you've got young kids or kids in that 8 to 12-year-old range and you're looking for something to do with them for at least part of a week in the summertime, like half a day in the summertime.
If they're interested in learning a new craft or coming to play with yarn and other things, I've seen little tidbits of like what kind of stuff they're going to be doing, and I want to come to summer camp.
I know, right, exactly, right.
Take me.
It's true.
Maybe we should offer like an adult summer camp at some point.
Well, it did occur to me that.
Oh wait, that's the retreat.
Right.
Right. So 30-second update on retreat. We may have found a location that can accommodate what we need to do. And hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have a better sense of where things are and if we can secure a date, because everything else like keys off of that, like reaching out to people to come teach classes, like, plan the full itinerary, like it all depends on like getting a date and securing a location. Fingers crossed, everybody, because I really want to have something this summer for all of you.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we can pull off, but we're still working on it.
Yes, we have not forgotten.
Not forgotten. It's just there's a lot of complications. And Vermont, for being a tourist destination, has a really lack of like...
It's like one extreme or the other. There's either accommodations for 400 people, or there's accommodations for like
10.
Right. There's obviously hotels, but we're trying to find something a little bit more atmospheric. And so...
I think we might have found something that's kind of a compromise between the two. So it's still kind of a hotel, but not like corporate convention center kind of hotel. Yeah. So I know we're being really vague, but we're still working on it.
I'm trying to remember what she's talking about.
We hope. She's like, which one? I don't even know.
We had a conversation last week and I
but I hope by the time we podcast next, we might have a better sense of like what's happening, give you some tentative dates so people can start planning. And
we have a million ideas about, excuse me, I am sleepy today. We have a million ideas about what will happen during the retreat. We just need to nail down the place and time, location. And then we can go from there.
Everything else can fall in. So, but yeah, hopefully, like I said, when we podcast next, which is either in 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks, because I think it might be 3 weeks just because of when Jen's gone and coming back. And she says she'll be fine to come back from like a 6.
Oh, I can't actually. Okay. That Monday when I get back, I have to go to White Plains.
So it'll be probably the next week. So there'll be 3 weeks before. And so hopefully I'll have everything. I'll know more.
Yeah.
By then.
Yeah.
That's my hope. Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Hold me to it. So send me hate mail in the comments next time if I don't have something for you, but please don't actually.
But in the meantime, send us some nice good karma thoughts.
Yeah, so we can try to get
pull this off.
Yes, because I want to have a retreat too.
We're very inspired, having just been to kind of a retreat.
Yeah. Also want to remind everybody that local yarn store day is April 29th. So mark your calendars. Even if you're not local to us, hopefully you have a place nearby that's participating, because this is, April and May are traditionally really slow months for yarn stores. And so this is a way to try to help get people in the door, get them excited about yarn and knitting. There's always really cool patterns and exclusive yarns and other kinds of activities. We try to have some stuff happening at the store.
Yeah.
So mark your calendars, April 29th, local yarn store day.
Mm-hmm.
Come see us if you're around.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do something fun. We can maybe think of something that we can combo between local and online.
Yeah. We'll try.
Just thought about that. So we'll.
Yeah. We've got a little bit of time, which is why I mentioned it now. So it's like we got a couple months.
We're starting to build our calendar, because then all of a sudden there's like all these things, Worldwide Knit in Public Day, and then if we do
and then it's
ball
like the
game,
week before, and we're like, oh my god,
like, trying to plan ahead,
trying to not have it be as chaotic and last minute. So all of you can plan, so we can plan, so we're not scrambling, because that's no fun for anybody. Sometimes scramble's fun, but not always.
We do thrive on chaos. However,
it's a controlled chaos. Like there's a level of chaos that is fine, and then there's like the uncontrolled chaos, and we need less uncontrolled chaos. Controlled chaos is cool. That's like my house on a daily basis. So controlled chaos. Yeah. And it's break. It's February break, so my kids are home all week. But come talk to me in July, the end of July, when there is a slim chance that every single other person that lives in my house will be at Scout Camp.
All of them.
All of them.
Wow.
So you know what I'm lobbying for is for all of them to go.
Yeah.
To Scout Camp, which is a week-long overnight camp.
Wow.
House to myself.
You're going to be, on day 2, you're going to be like, hello.
No.
Hello.
Oh no. Oh no.
You'll still have the dog.
I will have the dog. I'll be like, can you
Unless
stop?
the dog can go to Scout Camp too.
Dog might go to doggy daycare or get boarded for the week.
Yeah.
Because that would be even more amazing. That would be a true vacation for me.
Yes, that's right. That is correct.
Yes. Doggy daycare it is. All right. So I think
is that everything?
We have been here forever. So
actually, it's not too bad. A minute 20. I mean, an hour 20.
Hour 20. Not too bad. Lots of talking.
A little bit longer.
Lots of talking.
Yeah.
So we'll be back.
I've got yarn to wind and patterns to pick out.
We'll be back in 3 weeks. Just because of schedules. So we'll have. We'll see if I can. How many sweaters I can get done in 3 weeks? No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
Cyan better be done.
I'll knit half a shawl, and she'll have knit like 3.5 sweaters.
I'm gonna get distracted.
I did go to a lecture on Knit Faster, and I didn't learn. I didn't learn anything. Well, I didn't not learn anything, but I said to Ange afterwards, I was like, well, it was good, and there were definitely some suggestions. I just don't really know that I want to do any of them.
This one's for you.
Oh, I love
little
a
needle
ladybug.
threader.
So cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ladybug.
To work with my embroidery, my new skills for embroidery.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Super cute.
So thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us, folks.
Yeah,
we hope you learned something.
Yes.
We hope you found some humor. We know all of you love it when the lights shut off, or many of you do.
We're right on the verge of another one. I'm just waiting for them to go. Yeah, it's going to
come soon. Though there's been a little bit of this, and like that helps.
That's right. Vange waves her arms around. She's in the hot spot for where the occupancy sensor looks.
Yeah.
So I get to just sit here comfortably, but she has to bounce around a little bit more.
Yeah. But yeah, we did remember our really bright blind lights.
Right. So if I'm squinting, it's because we have spotlights.
Really?
But you can see all the yarn much nicer
this way. Gorgeous.
And it's gone from being daylight to dark.
Yes, so. It's now dark. So.
However, the fact is that I got here at 5 o'clock to start this, and it was not dark out. So.
That's amazing. And I think by the time we podcast next, it will have either just ended daylight savings, or we'll be real close. So like, it's going to be life-changing. It's going to be light for a really long time.
But not in the morning.
That's true. But
when I like it.
At the end of the day, it will be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for coming and spend some time with us. Yeah. We will see all of you in about 3 weeks. So happy crafting, knitting, crocheting, spinning, embroidery, sewing.
Okay. Oh.
And that is our cue that it is time to go.
That's right.
Bye.
See you guys.
Do we want to do our Vogue knitting stuff in the... Oh,
I don't know.
Chit-chats?
Whatever you think.
I don't know.
Go either way.
I don't know anything.
It's kind of how I feel today. And
That's what I know.
One long series of meetings today, one right after the other.
Is that I know nothing. I'm like Jon Snow. I know nothing.
I can't get that reference today. I don't know why. There we go.
It's Game of Thrones.
Oh, I wouldn't get it any day because I'm not a watcher.
I didn't watch. I read. They started as books.
Oh, I probably would like the books, actually.
The books are fantastic.
Oh, something to think about reading.
Yep.
That'd be good. Oh, golly. I'm tired.
I am really glad that we did not podcast last Monday.
Oh.
It would have been a disaster.
Really?
Yeah, I was tired.
Oh, really? I was fine. Last month. Today, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually fine all day today until just now.
Oh.
I sat down. I was like, oh, yeah, kind of tired today. However, I'm getting amped up for my vacation, so I think that's why I'm tired.
Do you leave Wednesday or do you leave Thursday?
Wednesday morning, first thing, the day before the snowstorm.
Right? Good?
Although my sister said to me yesterday, she said, you know, we're going to get to Chicago, and that storm that's coming here on Thursday will be in Chicago on Wednesday. And I was like, well...
Stop talking.
It doesn't matter. We'll be underway.
You're like, stop talking.
I don't care. We won't be here. I don't want to spend a week and a half at O'Hare, but, you know, if I have to.
It's better than here.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Apparently another giant storm coming. So it's been like
I don't know. Freezing rain and snow. I mean,
Fridays of no school or delayed school or
Friday was messy.
I had a trip to Brattleboro on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I wondered. Here it was messy. Down there was 50 degrees.
Yeah. I wonder because you said you drove through. I was like, what sun did she drive through? There was no sun here.
There was a little bit of sun
somewhere
on my way back on 103.
Oh, yeah. 103.
Right. Yeah. There was like a little pocket. And I was like, I see sun. There it is. Sun.
Yeah.
Blue sky sun.
We might have had a blip of sun on Friday, but it was mostly just
and it started freezing, raining, and snowing again. And I was just like, awesome. Great.
Still an hour and a half away. Yeah. From home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long drive.
Yeah.
Pretty bad weather up here.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I didn't have to go very far. But I was not excited about. It's been a while since we've had like real freezing rain. Like oftentimes they say that, but really it's just rain or snow.
This was like legit freezing rain. I had icicles on my side.
A quarter inch of ice off my car.
Yeah.
I don't park in a garage, so
yeah,
I had to do it twice. Got to do it in the morning and then again at the end of the day.
Well, and what's weird is so my kids had a 2-hour delay, and the roads were in better shape at 7 a.m. than they were like 2 hours later.
I drove to work and it was kind of fine.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting at my desk all day thinking, oh, that looks unpleasant. Hopefully it's going to get better. Once it turned to snow, then it finally was actually better. But
So
it was a thing for sure.
So, and apparently there's another storm headed in for Thursday into Friday.
Oh,
so
we'll
see. You're like, Sean's like, I don't care. Peace out. Peace out, everyone.
I am going away someplace warm.
I mean, my kids are on break this week, so I frankly don't actually care if there's a snow day on Friday or not for everybody else. Mm-hmm. It won't impact our district because we're off regardless. But it would be nice for them to have some snow to play in because...
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, like it snowed, like Friday stuff was gone by, like, and it was cold on Saturday, actually really cold here on Saturday, and, but even so, the sun is warm enough now that when the sun came out, the air was cold, the sun was out though, and yesterday, like this morning, I was like, wow, it's 47 degrees out.
It was like single digits Saturday morning.
Yeah, it was freezing. I was surprised when I went
outside with some scout stuff, so.
Yeah, when I went out, I left my house early on Saturday morning, and I was like, oh, it's 9 degrees. What is this? And today it was 47.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Craziness.
And it's supposed to be in the 20s tonight and kind of stay a little colder.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's going to be what it is. We had beautiful weather in New York last weekend.
It was amazing.
It was 60 degrees and
60
sunny.
on the Friday.
That was just
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Spent some time outside.
Yeah, I don't think I went outdoors on Saturday. Did we go out on
No,
Saturday?
I don't think so.
No, we went to lunch.
Yeah, we left to go to lunch.
That's true.
Every
I
day.
forgot about that. Right. Yeah.
But that was it. Otherwise, it was inside the hotel.
Yeah.
It's like being in
Yes.
Vegas, you have no idea what time
Right.
it is actually.
Right.
You can't see outside.
I am here.
Yes. Here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am.
But it was good.
So it was fun.
Mhm.
Took a lot of cool classes.
Hmm. I brought my little samples, some of them with
I
me.
brought one of my things to show off, which was my drop spin belly.
Look at that.
Look at that.
The way it looks, I don't know, it looks like a popsicle.
It does.
Right.
I
It's
think
kind of tasty. And
I think I spun it fat enough that I can just knit it
mm-hmm.
like this. I'm not gonna apply
Yeah.
it. It's pretty fat.
Mm-hmm.
I might have bought some more fiber.
I'm not shocked. Should I be shocked?
Well, it was a fundraiser, so Neighborhood Fiber Company is doing
Yeah.
a fundraiser to help them move into their new space.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things in their colorway was a Polworth fiber, and Polworth is what I used for this gray stuff, and I really enjoyed spinning with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought,
Mm-hmm.
give it a go.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
But I gotta clear off my spindle first.
That's right. Make yourself a little ball of yarn.
Well, I should actually not block it, whatever you do to it.
Ply.
No, I'm not gonna apply it, but you still do need to like wash it and set it.
Oh,
So
it's been a long time. My drop spindle class was like 25 years ago.
yeah.
Maybe not quite.
So that
long,
was
but-
fun. I took
yeah.
a drop spindling class. I had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Learned something new, very new. And then I took a socks 2 at a time class,
Mm-hmm.
which was also fun. I didn't bring those in because I actually pulled them off the needles because I needed the needle for something else for another class, different class.
Yeah.
So just 2 little bitty socks, just practicing. But most of it was like how to manage the yarn in a way that it doesn't get all like twisted
Yeah.
up, because there is a technique.
It
for
does
that.
seem like it will, but it doesn't actually. Yeah.
If you just have to remember to like twist your socks.
Yeah, keep going
You have
in the
to
right
keep
direction.
going like back
Yeah.
and back and forth depending on
Yeah.
what side of the sock you're on.
Yeah.
So I see the upside to doing 2 at a time socks.
Because when you're done, you're done.
Because when you're done, you're done.
It takes twice as long, but when you're done, you're done.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think it actually does take twice as long. I think it feels faster, and I think it could be just perception. But like there's not all that in between time where you're like, I don't feel like knitting a second sock. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
some time savings
Yeah.
there. That might be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. So I did that. I did a class on how to lock your floats when you're doing color work knitting.
World changing.
Yeah, I
Having been doing a lot of color work lately, is for me when I force myself to figure that out makes a huge difference.
I feel like it's one of those techniques that for a while, every time I use it, I'll have to go back and look it up and just be like,
Yeah.
how did that go again? Because that also is
and then it
another,
becomes like a, because every now and then on the stuff that I've been working on, I'm like, wait, am I doing it this way or am I doing that way? But then it only works one way and then
Right.
it makes sense. Yeah.
right.
And it does help to have I taught myself, I have always been like a move the ball of yarn around person, backwards, forward, sideways, twist, twist, twist.
Yeah.
And so when I designed that shawl last summer, I forced myself to
Yeah.
learn.
Because this one, your yarn doesn't get tangled, and it
Yeah.
also locks your floats across the back. So there's no long floats. You don't have to twist your yarn. The teacher that I took it from recommended like every second, like basically every other stitch, you're walking a float consistently.
I still am like 3 or 4. But yeah.
But
Because then it becomes just rhythmic instead of being like, oh wait, I gotta do a whatever thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it makes a really neat back
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
the knitting, which is good, for things
Yeah.
like mittens or other things where,
Yeah.
fingers can get, it's really neat.
Clean.
Like tidy.
And I've been doing it like every 3rd or 4th one. There's a few long ones in there because I don't always do it consistently.
And then the last class I took was a short rows class that I took for the teacher because it was with Vera Valimaki. And like anything, it's one of those technique classes where you'll always pick up something, like some extra little trick or tip or way to read the short rows when you're doing them. Also reaffirms that for me, German short rows just make the most sense.
Right.
My brain can like wrap my head around them like all the time. But it also makes a neat stitch.
Yeah.
And it's tidy.
You don't have to hunt for the little
how to
loop.
do it. Yeah. So it's good because there's lots of different short row techniques.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. So I took 4 classes too, and I enjoyed all of them for different reasons, which was good. The first class I took was geometric embroidery on wool. Look at this masterpiece.
That's amazing.
He was so funny because the first thing he said to us was, because of course we all came in with our swatches, and in my brain I was like, I'm going to make a beautiful thing and it's going to be a pillow when I'm done. And he said, so when you're done today, you're not going to have like a finished thing. And I was like, what? What am I doing here? But of course, so I probably actually will pull this out because I can't waste this beautiful sample. Look at this beautiful swatch. But anyway, it was super fun. The instructor was Dario Turbanio, I think his last name is. He's great. Definitely look him up. And he teaches a lot of different embroidery classes, but he's a designer as well and does other stuff. So it was really fun to experiment and to learn some techniques. It
was also cool to see because he had some of his samples at the EMIAC booth. And they were gorgeous.
Yeah, really beautiful to see. And so I did some embroidery when I was younger, and but it's been a really long time. But it does come back to you a little bit, and so it was good to sort of just go through it. And like all of these are like technique classes, so it was good. So I enjoyed that, and then I took a class called On the Bubble with Melissa Lietman, and that is a class, it's really hard to describe, but it's a variation on tuck knitting, so that you're dropping down and pulling stitches up to form different patterns. So we did a bunch of different, so this would be like so a lot of times you can do this, you get this effect by using slip stitches. That's how Stephen West usually does it. But you can also do it without that. And so when you look at the back, you're only using one color at a time, and it's kind of hard to describe, but you drop the stitch down and pull it up to knit it. So that and then you can get like just a wide variety of different effects. With different colors, but again, it's kind of nice because you're only using one color at a time. You're not like balancing 25 different colors. So that was fun. And then I don't have a sample, but I took a continental knitting class with Vera Valimaki, which was great. I have been because I've been doing my color work two-handed. I've been sort of doing right hand throw, left hand continental. So I had the knitting part down, but the purling part is really, I don't know, it's like a different thing. So she taught us 3 different ways of doing that, and it was good. So I enjoyed that. And then the last class I took was called Killer Color Cables, and so it was like 2 color cables.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you can really start to see that these are tiny samples because I couldn't knit fast enough in them, but you can start to see, as you use the color. So the interesting thing about it is that this is stranded color work, so you are carrying and also cabling at the same time, so trying to like manage your yarn and keep the cables in front of the yarn even when it's in back and whatever. So but you can create some really interesting patterns and designs with them. So it was fun. I enjoyed all of them. They were all really great classes.
The classes were good. I caught part of a fashion show, which was super fun. The marketplace was cool. There was lots.
We didn't buy anything. It was, honestly, it was terrible. Just kidding. Unfortunately, we both bought a few things. Just a few.
A couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my big purchases were jewelry, actually.
Mm-hmm. Look at these cute little earrings I
yarn.
bought. So cute. Knit pearl.
Nice.
You're so funny.
And I bought this really cool ring, which is actually, it's a needle gauge.
Yeah.
So.
I did bring the other earrings in.
And I did buy a pair of earrings, which I don't have with me. But
I bought some that are metal and felt, which were
those were cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And then, a little bit of yarn. So,
special things.
I am a sucker for fun, unique, interesting yarns. So this is by a company called Seismic Yarns. And it just looks like really fun speckle yarn, but let's see if this works on the podcast. It's blacklight reactive.
Oh, there you go. That's fun.
And yes, I do have a blacklight.
On her keychain.
Pocket blacklight.
Just kidding.
So, how fun is that?
That is creating a very funny effect on the video screen.
There. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Just super wild. Yes.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Blacklight, flashlight.
Always in her bag. You never know when you need one.
No, I grabbed it from home.
I'm just kidding.
We had a
just makes me laugh.
We
know how easily I amuse myself.
Glow in the dark party for one of my kids last year.
Right.
So it was part of the fun.
Always important. Right.
So I got that yarn because why not? Why would you not get blacklight reactive yarn?
Right.
That's amazing.
Right.
And I wanted to try Plucky. They were there. Knit City was there. I haven't knit with Plucky yarn before, so I got this is a couple just sport weight merino yarn. Probably be I don't know, hat or something.
Yeah,
probably. We'll see.
Fun.
I don't know. Good times. And then Jen and I got yarn at the same place.
I was walking down. There were several cashmere opportunities. I'm going to call. And so we managed to avoid the whole cashmere booth because I was afraid to look in there, honestly. But
and then the last day before we're leaving,
when you start losing your mind,
yeah,
walking around.
So this was in the Scott booth, and so they had this really gorgeous shawl sample there. That was knit up with this cashmere.
Beautiful fuzzy cashmere.
Brushed cashmere, and then a sock yarn. And of course, as we know, samples sell things.
Yes,
because people are like, oh my gosh, that's
so
amazing.
Yeah.
So here we are with some cashmere. That's going to be a shawl. Probably that pattern.
I forget what it's even called, but we got the pattern too.
Yeah.
Maybe I should bring that with me. No.
I will make a note in the show notes to add the pattern name.
I could probably find it. Because it was an email, right?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. Do you have more yarn?
No.
Let's see how fast. I think I might have started a good
Oh,
girl.
I do have more yarn.
Because I have a little bit, but if you can do that, I can find
the other thing that I got from the Biscott yarn store was some self-striping sock yarn that Jen wound for me, and clearly it was an yarn emergency because I've cast on my socks.
Not.
I don't know why. Because there was a really long lines at the yarn winding stations.
So I cast it on at I wound it up at midnight one night just because.
Just because.
I'm such a good person.
She is. And look at how good she is. That looks like
professional native. Maybe have done it.
Professional yarn winder.
Why can't I find this pattern?
So it's self-striping in the burlesque colorway, which sounds about right.
They've only sent us 53,000 emails since. Oh, maybe that's it. No.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, we'll add that pattern to the show notes.
It's a nice pattern.
It's a cute pattern, and you could totally use it without the brushed cashmere.
Right, although that will certainly make it very luxe.
So nice.
And when I was there staring at the brushed cashmere, she was buying sock yarn, and I was just
I already bought my sock yarn.
eyeballing.
You just got sucked in.
I just love this color. It's like this darkest, deepest, like red, burgundy, black color. So this is a mohair silk, kid silk it's called. It's really fuzzy and beautiful. And so I might work it into my little shawl. We'll just see what happens with that.
Nice.
And then 7th Floor Yarns. We carry some of their yarn here in the store, but I was having a nice chat with them, and of course standing in their booth having a nice chat with them. I have noticed yet again another teal. Another teal. It's like I don't have enough teal in my so this is their Luscious Fingering, which is like an 80-20, but it's an 80 merino and 20% silk blend, which is really nice and beautiful color. And their show colorway was this little multicolored bundle of beauty.
Cool.
So, which is, I think, it's called Times Square at Night. It's a yak silk 50-50 blend. And the colors are just beautiful, and I actually thought I might use those together. We'll see.
Nice.
This might be a little something on the
You could almost do like a little like color work t-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt.
yeah, exactly. And then the last yarn.
She thinks.
I'm pretty sure.
Did you buy more yarn than me?
No, this is it.
I think you did.
No, you just had like 5 things.
No, I don't know.
I bought, I don't know, there's Lillum Company, or Billum, hand-dyed in Hungary. They're all one of a kind. It is Billum, B-I-L. It looks like an L, but it's B. These beautiful gradients, I just could not resist them. I was definitely I need luxurious yarn, because this is a why not? 65% merino, 20% silk, 15% yak. Soft and cozy and all the pretty colors. And so this might be for my sister, or a thing for my sister, but why not? So yes, there's definitely a color trend, as always. I should not be allowed to buy any more teal colored yarn.
Hey, you know what you like.
And Ange bought us these super fun little Katrinkles gadgets.
Yeah.
It has a magnifying glass and a cutter and a little
fix-it
tool in it. I'm a little concerned about the magnifying glass, but I'm just kidding. But isn't it cute?
You could use it to start a fire in an emergency.
That's right. And this little worm guy up here reminds me of Lowly Worm from Richard Scarry. Now I'm really dating myself.
Yep.
No one knows what I'm talking about.
I know it. Lowly is.
Yes, I remember babysitting these children up the street from me when I was a teenager, so that was 1,000 years ago. And we had to find Lowly in all the Richard Scarry construction site books.
My mom would not have any Richard Scarry books in our house when we were growing up, and I'll tell you what she promptly bought after my first child was born.
Scarry.
Have you ever read Richard Scarry that lives in your house with you?
Mm-hmm. No.
About
Not
the
in my
1000th
house.
time you've read the same book?
Yeah. But those are like picture books. Find the picture of the crane. Find the lowly worm.
Kind of.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I can think of when I see that little.
Yeah, it does look like
guy.
lowly worm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does.
Yes, it does.
So that's I think that's the haul.
That was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun. It was beautiful. We had really great weather. We saw a show, which was super fun.
Yes.
Highly recommend.
Broadway.
Book of Mormon.
It was hilarious. If South Park's not your thing.
It's not normally my thing, and I could not stop laughing. So there's that.
It's funny.
Yes, it was very well done.
But it is that South Park humor, so
I think the word you're looking for is there's a little bit of raunch.
It's pretty raunchy.
In there.
Pretty raunchy.
But also
very
just
funny.
very funny.
Very witty.
Beautiful dance numbers and just,
Yeah. Fun music.
super well done. Yeah. And it was it's been in the same theater apparently the whole 13 years. So it's right around the corner from where we were staying. And It's a
cute little
beautiful,
theater.
beautiful old Art Deco theater. Really, it was
Yep.
gorgeous. The inside was really beautiful.
Yep.
So I was struck by that.
Yep. We did the full experience, you know, super
Sippy cup.
expensive sippy cup drinks and, you know, the whole 9 yards.
That's right.
Um,
And then we were like, oh, the sippy cups. And then when we were packing to leave, we were like, where is that going to go?
Oh.
There's no room.
Mine came home with me.
Oh, really?
One of my kids, my Abigail's already using it.
I guess I could have given you mine. It did not fit in my luggage. There was, even with yarn stuffed inside of it, there would have been no way.
Yes.
It was a tight squeeze.
Mine made it home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was donated to the housekeeping staff. They probably have 100,000 of them.
Probably. They're like, oh, geez, another one of these.
Right, exactly.
So,
All right.
good times.
Yes, well, that is a
Long set of
outtakes.
chit-chatty outtake stuff. So,
Mhm.
probably start our normal podcast because there is yarn
Business
everywhere
as
on the
usual
table in
part.
front of us.
Yeah, there
Um,
is.
so
There's not a lot. Well, you probably have knitting. I don't have a
got
ton
some
of knitting. I
Not
do,
a huge
but
amount, given that it's been like 3 weeks since we've podcast.
it was 3 weeks. I feel like there must have been stuff in between that I forgot about, but maybe not.
Maybe we just lost a week. I don't know.
I think there were a couple nights of not really wanting to knit in my life. The
Yeah,
last
there's
couple
been
weeks.
there's been some of that. So, and really, there's less knitting the like 4 days we were away
Oh my God,
than
right.
you would think.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
So less knitting on like actual projects.
Right.
So
And I truthfully, I had a finished object, but I had to take part of it back out again. So I feel like I'm in the 150% range on that project. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see whether you all agree.
Okay.
You will have seen it already at this point. But
Yes. Okay.
alrighty.
Let's get the show on.
Let's
the
do it.
road. Okay.